This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toal,
target man, suspicious character,
and
welcome to Football Daft. It is the daftest Scottish football podcast around. I am producer John, and let's welcome the team, shall we? A man who's been trying to perfect his American accent this week for a new role. We won't say any more than that. It's Stephen Purden.
Hey guys.
Go and give us a blast. Go and give us a blast. Oh, sorry, were you doing it there? Were you doing it there?
No.
He was.
He was doing it there, wasn't he?
You'll see it in the big screen, man, don't worry.
Go on, give us a wee...
Say something, let me
what,
give you
what kind of, like, I mean, what kind of region of America are you going for? Because it's obviously variants on it.
There was not a specific description. So
Right.
as me and Grado were saying in the group chat, just went for the kind of general American.
General American,
was-
what is that, like, kind of Midwest kind of American accent?
Aye. It's kind of, I was alright, I was quite happy with it. My agent replied,
You look American, man.
you know,
Sitting there with your Rangers tartan, your boss.
my agent came back and said, "Hi Stephen, great characterisation and energy in this tape. I really enjoyed it. All sent on to casting for you, guys. We'll just wait and see.
Aye, any day now, mate. Any day now.
Aye,
You'll finish it,
Alright.
man.
We'll talk about it in the summer edition of Football Daft, man. Well, I should hear about that movie, man.
That man you heard just there has managed to drag himself away from Big Jet TV and Jerry. It's Grado.
Aye, you're right. I have been watching Big Jet TV because he's sitting at RAF Conington. But I was doing that, where's the folk? There was only 6,000 folk on the stream today.
Aye, well, it's like I don't know, man. What's a good example? It's like everybody's into tennis when Wimbledon's on.
Aye, the curling when the Winter Olympics is on.
So-
very
Oh, my
So
mate
that's
texts me,
amazing.
man. And he's sitting watching the curling. I said, I'm leaving this group chat, man. The curling.
I know.
Do you know why the curling? Oh,
Fuck, John. You look like a guy who likes the curling, but John.
when it's on the Winter Olympics, the curling's good, isn't it? We should have a wee football dafty out for the curling.
It's a good family day out.
It'd be good. I tell you what, I do like. I quite fancy Eve Muirhead. Beautiful eyes.
No idea who she is.
Beautiful eyes. Eve
I'm going to
Muirhead.
Google her. Hold on.
She is the. I think she's for Perth. She's the kind of
Yep.
top. She's the top one. She's the kind of.
She's the skip.
Is that what they call it?
That's what they call it, the skip.
Oh, aye, aye.
Yeah,
But
there
she's
you go.
the curling boys, man. Don't look at that, man. Sorry, innit?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Bob,
Aye.
it's 2022, mate.
I know, man. I know how to do that. Anyway. Cut it out, right?
We're kind of twiddling our thumbs here right now. We're waiting for the last member of the Football Daft team to join us, Chris Toal, because we can't really get started into the football because there's a lot of stuff to talk about this week, isn't there?
There is. Toal's the type that says he's born in 5, like you said. I've just woke up. Probably takes Toal about 35 minutes or something to get going in the morning, doesn't it? It's the kind of guy he'll come on, he'll still be upside down and all that, man.
Cup of coffee.
Aye,
Still
a
in his
big
goonie.
fucking big smoke and all that, and his wee pink fucking dressing gown and all that, man.
I think Toal's got a dressing gown.
I think he'd Van on the last time. Do you know if Van on a video he sent me? He was at the back puffing one night.
I can imagine Toal kicking about a pink dressing gown, can't you?
I think he is to now, man. He's scared to pay for that central heating in his new gaff, man.
That's true.
Speaking of dressing gowns, man, I thought I was doing something good because Stephanie wanted one for a Valentine's Day, right? And
Aye.
I ordered it. Did I show you the one I ordered? No.
Was that sexy with you right now?
No, but
If you went for sexy.
Pure. This is like Nicola's old man took a stroke, right? He was no well. Fucking Nicola's Mo's no well. Nicola's got COVID. I'm stressed out, man. My phone pings and I look. Grado, you ever bought Nick a goonie? Mate, I've not got time for this, mate.
Well, mate, it's hard, man.
But I've got something to ask you, man. You ever bought Nick a goonie?
Well, I went on that Selfridges website and it was like showing 1 to 16 of 6,000 Goonies. I was like, man. So I bought one. But John, mate, I bought one and Stephanie went, I hope you've not got me an old hardy fucking granny one. Right? And I was like, well, no, I haven't. And then when it came, you might have seen the nick of this thing, man. It was like juicy couture. Like,
Is a goonie no different to a dressing gown?
I don't know.
No.
A goonie's like a hang woman wear, like it's like a dress or bed.
Aye, a nightgown, a gunny.
Aye, it's not a dressing gown.
But she I opened up, man, it was like something at the Playboy Mansion. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how am I meant to answer the door to, like, your father in this? So, it's been sent back. So, cheers for that, Bob. You wasted me £75, you wee dick.
What's it going to do with me?
Oh, I was asking you for advice, because have you bought a good...
What did I reply to you? You don't even remember what I replied to you?
No.
Do you? I replied to you, no.
Right.
I've got no knowledge in Goonies, Grado, is what I said to you.
Right.
So what the fuck's it going to do with me? Stephanie, if you're listening, fuck all to do with me, hen. I told the cunt to avoid buying you, man.
Can we also just point out on the subject of clothing this week, if you're watching the video version, that Grado's looking like a foreign footballer because he's sitting recording the podcast in his man hut, but he's got a t-shirt or a pair of gloves on. You know what the foreigner footballers do when they come over?
He's got a gilet on and a pair of gloves. Looks like he's fucking coming straight for fucking Lapland, man.
I'm like a shit mid-tabled SPFL manager, aren't I? This Julie on.
Like Steve Bruce, man, that one you came up, pure hungover, man. Hello.
I love his press conferences.
You alright?
What's that?
By the way, we can segue into shitty mid-table managers with the news that Steve Robertson, the merry-go-round, another manager back. Again, this just feels like, I'm not saying he's a shit manager, but again, it's like the same. It's like Scottish football. You know what I mean?
It's like they sit there and go, right, that's...
A merry-go-round?
That's Jim away. Can we get Derek? No, he's at command.
Aye.
What's that boy Stephen doing, the Motherwell manager? Get him up. Because we Gordon already got Mark.
And we don't want to be doing what Hibs done with Maloney. We're not touching that.
No, that's fucking...
No.
Right, that's outside there. Look at that.
Brian Rice is at Alba. We've missed Brian Rice. You know what
I mean,
he gets that quiet in the group chat.
But to be fair, it's a decent appointment for St Mirren. When you look at the job he did do at Motherwell, you know, he got them into the League Cup, Scottish Cup, finished third in the league. I mean, he did a really good job at Motherwell, didn't he?
I think it's an upgrade for Godwin. Goodwin, was it Godwin?
Do you know what?
Jim Godwin.
Jim Godwin. It could be. It could be a decent upgrade, I think. But do you know, I think it's a decent appointment.
I want to know.
Oh, hold on. Here he comes. Here he comes.
That
Right, is he going to be wearing a dressing gown or not? Please welcome to the Football Daft. It's a man that this week realised that Grado's baby name, Perry, is an anagram of his favourite player, Pierre. It's Chris Toal, and he's not wearing a dressing gown.
What is happening, lad? Sorry, I'm late. I've fucking...
Did you have a danger wanker when you woke up?
Have you got cameras in my house?
Those will be 5 minutes.
Hey, Stevie boy, takes me 5 minutes just to get it out, son.
And welcome Chris to the podcast, and the phone lowers immediately. Chris,
Yes.
Stephen Robinson, good appointment at St Mirren or not?
Is that him confirmed now, aye?
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Aye.
Oh, fuck's sake, there you go, eh? Clearly a fucking earth-shattering move there if I've only found out about it this 5 minutes, but hopefully he can do a better job than he done at Motherwell. He's obviously had a hangway.
You're saying that. John's just out with facts and stats of what he did at Motherwell, how good a job he done. He came on, hopefully can do a better job at Motherwell. It was a fucking shambles there.
I thought he'd done pretty poorly at Motherwell, obviously.
He's only 2 finals.
Did he win them?
No, he didn't.
Listen, nobody remembers the runner-up, John.
That's true.
He'll have a better record probably than what Goodwin had at St Mirren lately.
I just want these segments. Grado try to say Goodwin's name. Yeah, well, Goodwin.
Well, you know what?
Here's a thing, right? Here's a thing.
Right.
Go on and tell me, what's Jim Goodwin done? Apart from looking fucking handsome, what has he done, really?
He's got them up. He's got St Mirren up. Well, no, he didn't. He joined in.
Where? There was already up when he took here.
Aye, but he's got a decent win game, and he's done well with St Mirren, I would say.
Has he, John? What's his win ratio?
Aye, but see when he came in, Stevie, he kept him up. You know what I mean? They were fucking. They were done.
I think what Grado says a minute ago. It's just the lack of imagination and the manager merry-go-round. I don't think Aberdeen's a big job, right? It's a big club. I don't think all these people saying what an appointment, I don't really see what he's done to go. I think it's just a lazy move going, Mum will get Jim.
Right, I tell you what then, Stevie. Right.
I've just looked at his stats for St Mirren, 32% win ratio.
There, point in case. There we go.
32% win ratio for St Mirren's no bad.
I would say it's all right.
Yeah. Is it good enough to be the manager of Aberdeen?
No, it's no. It's no, and do you know what? See what you're saying there, mate. It's a fair point, because for me that's a bit downsizing for Aberdeen. See the Stephen Glass move. That showed a wee bit of ambition, a wee bit of thinking outside the box. You know what I mean? It obviously never worked out.
Like Maloney with Hibs, what Grado was saying.
Exactly, aye.
But he's a sexy bastard, Jim Goodwin, is he?
Did you see?
Hold on a minute. I'm not buying this Jim Goodwin sexy.
It's the accent. The women love
Mate,
the accent.
I think, honestly, you said it during lockdown.
I was speaking to our mutual friend Kat Harvey. Now, Kat Harvey...
Did she not put someone on Twitter? It was like a slow-mo and him walking for his motor.
Yeah, have you not seen that? Aberdeen put up the announcement of Jim Goodwin saying he's doing a slow motion of him walking out the car into the training ground.
He could be wearing a tighter suit, man.
You know what I think he looks like? I'm not being offended. I don't think I'm being offended. I think he looks like a skull. Jim Goodwin.
Jim Goodwin looks like a skull.
Do you get what I mean?
I think he's a handsome bastard.
I think he's a handsome. Is he more handsome than Stuart Kettlewell, the former Ross County manager, though?
He just looks like
he was
David De Gea, didn't he?
Man. He looked good in Google Images, but not in real life.
He's a pound shop wee Miller.
Nah, he's like fucking David fucking De Gea and Wish.
Oh, hold on, Jim Goodwin is actually right. I'm just Googling again, I suppose he is.
Hey, I'm sure you were on this bigging him up how good looking he was, like during lockdown.
Well, mate, I got my Drew McIntyre video and they never come on the podcast. That was the deal. We're not getting that again because that's through Jamie Langfield.
You've got trouble with St Mirren.
Do you know what? It's personal. It's personal.
That's what's happened.
He's sexy, and you know what? You just don't want to admit it.
Technically, Grado, the last two St Mirren managers have fucked you over.
Jamie Langfield's tweet was brilliant. Bowing out of management, undefeated.
Aye.
That's brilliant.
Well done, Clive. I'm glad Chris has joined us because we've talked about Stephen Robinson there, but I wanted to go back to the European results.
The managers have shafted you.
They have, really? I mean, that wrestling gear, I've no texted you.
I just want Stephen Robinson to ask Grado to do something like this. He'll be like, no, get to fuck, Stephen.
Leave me alone.
Fucking use Paisley bastards, no.
Now we've got Chris on.
Let's talk meant to be the buddies.
Now we have Chris on. Let's talk about the European matches.
John, I've already discussed this on.
Yeah, I know you've discussed it, but
I wouldn't like to discuss it any further. Okay.
Stephen wants to discuss the European matches further.
Okay.
We discussed about our Rangers staff. You can hear that, but I want to ask the question, Chris, and with you in the conversation now: is that the best result for a Scottish team in Europe?
Rangers, no, the best result for a Scottish team in Europe was when Celtic won the European Cup, mate.
No, but I guess that, well, yeah, they are right.
It's so obviously going to be Toal's reply, man.
Come on, man.
I guess I'm a Celtic fan, I'm saying that.
Right, in the Champions League era of football, let's just call it the Champions League era of football. Is that the best result?
No, it's Celtic v Barcelona. But what I will say is, it's probably the best Rangers performance I've seen in about 25 years. They were outstanding. They were absolutely outstanding. And it's when the first goal went in, I turned around to Keane and went, fuck's sake. And the second goal. And the third goal.
Can I bet you on the that's not what you were saying?
Mate, you see, to be
when
honest,
the third goal went in.
Like I say, it was an incredible performance. So there wasn't a bad man on the pitch for them. I thought maybe a wee bit Barisic could have dealt with Guerrero a wee bit better at times, but other than that, I thought they were hungry. I thought they were outstanding. Every one of them.
Yeah, it's because you've got to watch Guerrero constantly lying, cheating and stealing, do you know what I mean?
Hey!
Wee wrestling joke for you there, Stephen.
Aye. I'm involved, aye.
Right, okay, let's move on from the European fixtures. If you want to hear more about that, Celtic and Rangers staff available on the channel now. I want to talk about Giakoumakis, right? Let's get this chat on, right? Like, Celtic will win the title and are better than the rivals in every single part of the team, is the quote from Giakoumakis.
Shades of Samaras, man.
After scoring the hat-trick. The question is, boys, are they?
I can't see any point to argue here.
No, the point is, mate, are you happy hearing one of your players saying that?
No, I'm absolutely. I've said that to Ryan on the show today. He needs to fucking shut the fuck up, because that's a Rangers manager goes into the dressing room and just fucking sticks it in the wall. Bit of headlines, do you know what I mean? But there's a couple of places in the team that we need to improve our left back. We need to improve our goalkeeper.
Is Alan McGregor better than Joe Hart?
I think the both of them.
Let's just say in current form as well, Stephen, because I know you've been quite critical on McGregor recently.
Current form,
none of two of them would get a game for fucking Dundee. You know what I mean? I think it's over the. I don't know, because if you're taking their full accounts and their full careers into account,
well, let's break it down then. Let's break it down, right? Goalkeeper, McGregor or Hart?
If I was
McGregor.
I honestly think they're much of a muchness now, to be honest with you. I think they're both struggling a wee bit, but I would take Barkas.
Right, we're sitting on the fence with the goalkeeper. Right back,
I think I would have
Juranovic or
Tavernier. In fact, he scores a lot of goals, man. Fucking.
I think you'll go far to get better numbers for a fullback than Tav. I'll go Tav. But I think Juranovic is a quality player.
Yeah, okay, and left back, Barisic or Bassey. It is for Rangers. Would you go by Bassey or Celtic? Greg Taylor?
Right now, I would go Bassey.
But is Bassey not playing centre half for now? But
aye, but he's playing left. But he's a left back though, and he played well.
Played left back at the weekend there, didn't he?
Aye.
Right. I would.
Absolutely outstanding for a Rebels goal.
Out of the three of them, I know we're talking about current form, but I think you need to again take their full careers into account. I would go with Barisic out of the three. Right,
okay. So at the moment it's pretty heavy Rangers. So at the moment Giacomakis looks like he's talking shite. Centre half then.
Carter
centre half. Let's go 4-3-3. So
Carter Vickers and Goldson.
Carter Vickers and Goldson. I'd agree with that. Any disagreements there, boys?
I've honestly not saw enough of the Vickers guy, but I would agree. I'll see.
Hey, been at Chops for a while.
Right.
I think on his day, man. I think Big Phil's a great defender on his day, man. He's just missed a lot of the season for injury.
Yeah,
I've seen a wee bit of Carter Vickers. I think Carter Vickers and Goldson's a good shout, to be fair, on current form, man.
I think this is where it gets difficult, though, the three in midfield. This is where the argument really is, I think, in the three up front. Right, let's go three in midfield then.
I'm not enjoying this, man.
Right, three in midfield. Aribo.
Why did we not do this last season?
I know. Celtic, there's no beating about the bush. Celtic are on form. Yeah. Celtic, for me,
until we come up against fucking builders and fucking that for Norway. No,
were they really? But did they not beat somebody?
Grado. Do you know what? I says to Ryan kind of on Celtic daft time was like, this is a match we should be winning and all that. And I says to him at the time, I says, you are severely underestimating this team. And I think a lot of the Celtic fans were underestimating them. Sorry, and I could see what happened on Thursday coming. To be perfectly honest with you, so I could. Yeah. But anyway, back to what we're talking.
You're scunt about this, boys. Aribo gets in, yeah. We all agreed.
No for me.
No,
since he came back for AFCON either. But
I think Aribo's much more effective.
Right, okay. So you want to save Aribo for the front three then, Stephen? Aye.
Maybe I don't.
Right, okay. Right, Callum McGregor then. Callum McGregor gets in, yeah.
For me, the midfield's McGregor, Rogic and Hatate. For
me, the midfield is Ryan Jack.
McGregor's got to get in.
I've not seen enough of Hatate, man. I've seen enough in one game at fucking Parkhead a few weeks ago.
McGregor, Stephen, surely.
I'm not fucking saying McGregor.
But you know it, that's the problem. You know it, you should get in.
No, I don't. John, don't tell me what I should know.
Oh, sorry, Stephen, sorry.
I would go Ryan Jack.
He's muted himself.
As did Right, okay. So we've got Ryan Jack and Cam McGregor. One more. Who gets in that midfield?
For me, it's either Hatate or Rogic, Hatate or O'Reilly. And Matt O'Reilly has not put a fucking pass wrong.
He does look like a good player.
He's been an excellent signing so far. Do you know what? This will all decide itself at the end of the season anyway.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean?
But I just want to keep going with this because I want to get to the front three.
This is the most uncomfortable I've felt since we interviewed fucking Rob Jones, man.
Right, front three's obviously Laudrup, Larson, and fucking.
I would say the front three for me would be Jota, Morelos, and Ryan Kent. On current form, you're taking Ryan Kent over Abada. Fucking wake up, mate. One game against Dortmund, mate. He's not kicked a ball for fucking weeks. Mate, Ryan Kent was phenomenal against Dundee United at the weekend. Aye, what was the score? And he was... Oh, he's getting a bit defensive here, man. Fuck's sake. Ryan Kent does not get near a mixed Celtic and Rangers team. That's your opinion. All right, fair enough. You're right.
But Morelos, Chris, you would definitely go with Morelos through the middle as well, though, yeah?
No, I would go with Kyogo through the middle, with Jota on the left and Abada on the right.
So Morelos isn't even getting a front three Rangers and Celtic mash-up?
No. But mate, that's my opinion.
No, mate, fair enough.
Okay,
what you're saying?
Just whatever Bob says.
Right, but here's the real question.
Right.
John, what's your mixed hold for him 11?
Don't do the 11.
Can we just move on, man?
We'll just move on. We'll just move on. It's very similar.
Let's do a fucking Falkirk and Dunfermline mashup.
No chance.
Is Jim Hamilton still kicking a ball?
Listen, if you want to get involved in this chat, please hit us up on the @FootballDaftPod. Love to see your combined Celtic and Rangers 11. Before we get into the daft,
for fuck's sake, that'll be fun.
Before we get into the daft stuff,
I just love that. I love that. I got right frosty there. It was quite definitely business end of the season there.
Like the good old days.
Aye.
Let's revisit.
Toes eyes like that look.
Wait a minute, hold on, Gredo.
I would go for Jota, Abada.
Fucking Kyogo. It's Kyogo through the middle, right?
Apologies.
Taking a sip on his big
fucking Ryan Kent was magic against Dundee United, you prick.
For the
so Morelos isn't getting your mash-up.
Just put over your head.
Shout at the base like that. Hold on, put that
down. Right. Before we get into the daft, boys, you know how we've started this feature. Stephen, you missed last week, but we started the feature Make the Boys Bulk, the fucked up version of Graham Norton's Big Red Chair. And oh my God, we've been inundated. We've got to the point where we've got a voice note coming up for this feature, right?
Right, but we need to steer clear of the jobbies, man. See the jobby talk.
I know, man. It really does give me the heave. I didn't think it would affect me, but it does.
Right, well... You've got a couple of stories. There's loads come in. We'll get to them as the weeks progress. But here's the first one, right? I'm going to read out to you, okay? All right, lads. Enjoying listening to the pod every week. Story about making you puke. So, back in my young Raven days, I was out at a nightclub in East Calder called The Bunker. Quite a dark wee place with all the lights flashing about it. I was out my banger this night and needed a drink. I was dry as fuck, stupidly picked the first cup that I seen and took a gulp of this fucking stuff. Well, it wasn't water or juice, it was lumpy as fuck. Instantly ran to the toilet and spewed someone else's spew out. It was horrendous.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I broke it for 20 minutes. After that...
What is wrong with a show today, man?
After that, I was alright and went back out for a bounce.
Yeah, I've got one for you that's just popped into my head, right?
Oh, here we go.
My mate used to be a bingo caller, right? So he's up on the stage doing the bingo.
Why is it funny when you hear somebody's a bingo caller? It always makes me laugh.
So, how did you get a job doing that?
I don't know, mate.
Bingo callers like you.
So he's got the cold, right? And he keeps on coughing and he's spitting it into his can of Coke, right? So 5 minutes before the end of his session, but he's up calling numbers. He can't be fucking...
he's the ultimate professional.
Yeah, he's doing that, like kidding on, he's taking a drink but putting it into the can, right? And his fucking manager comes up at the end of his shift and lifts his can and fucking
Oh.
Or the phlegm that he'd coughed up through his shift in the can, and he's fucking wanted it. Know what I mean?
Oh my!
I don't know if it's just because it's the business end of the season or not, man, but I feel really uncomfortable today, man.
Do you want to go to John Thompson's voice note?
Aye, play that.
Right, okay. Strap yourself in.
Is it,
right,
John, is it vile?
John goes on for quite a bit, but it is worth it, right? So,
But did he send us on WhatsApp?
He sent us this on the football. You can voice note us on the Football Daft Facebook page, or you could. I think you can do it on Twitter now as well. But here's John's epic story. He's ready for this. Strap yourselves in.
Let's go.
So for this book thing, I have to tell you this one because it took too long to write. But there was a guy. We went on a stag party to Inverness, and there's one of the guys a bit of lightweight, couldn't drink, really lightweight. And anyway, we're in the pub in the afternoon and he's already shit-faced. So it goes on to the night and we're all sitting in the bar and all the old men are there. So we were in our early 20s. And this guy was just wrecked already. And we go into the nightclub, which is right next door. And all the old guys stay in the pub. So he said to the bouncer on the way in, he says, is there many up? And we're like, there's quite a squad here. I says, here's some free voucher for some free drinks and stuff. So we're chatting away at the guy. About half an hour later, he comes up to me and he says, do you want to come and look outside? And so I go outside and there's a huge queue of folk, but in the middle is a big gap.
It continues.
No, I know it's
anyway,
coming here.
Davey goes up and the bouncers at the old man's pub was like, no, we just threw him out here 10 minutes ago, he's not getting back in. So we're like, fuck, what are we going to do? So flagged in a taxi, eventually convinced this taxi driver to drop him off at the hotel, which he does. So about an hour and a half later, one of the guys doesn't drink, so he's all happy and alive, and he's like, I'm going to go home and, or back to the hotel to get changed, because he's been dressed all day. He goes back, so he goes back to the hotel. He says, and he walks in and do you know in the hallways between the rooms, he goes in and can you open the door? So it's banging against something. So he hits against the door and eventually pushes through, and there's Davey lying sparked out behind the door. So he pushes through the door, picks Davey up, and Davey, these keys lying in the flare in his hand right next to him. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake. So he picks him up, opens the door, throws Davey into the room, goes away and gets changed and thinks, oh, come on, I better go check and see if he's alright. So he goes back in. This is about 20 minutes later, and it's wall-to-wall vomit. It's covered everywhere, and he's lying there covered in it. He's like, oh, fucking hell, Davey, you alright? He says, oh, I feel a bit better now, actually. Now I've puked. He's like, do you know, I'll get changed and I'll come back into town with you. And he's like, alright, so the guy who, let's call him Brian, just for a... he looks in the wardrobes and he's like, dude, I can't find any of your clothes. He says, how the fuck have you got dresses and stuff in here? And Davey's like, what? He says, your wardrobe here is full of like suits and stuff. He's like, oh, this is not my room. And he says, how can it not be your flashback when I opened that door there to come in? He said, I was wrecked, but it's like, oh, somebody's dropped a key. He said, and that's the last thing I remember. He says, and he opened in his jeans pocket and there was his own room key. So we came back about 4:30 in the morning, and there's a guy standing shouting and bawling at the reception because somebody had puked all at him in his wife's bedroom. They had just got married that day as well, and somebody came in the fucking room.
That is phenomenal. That is brilliant.
That's a topper.
I don't think that'll ever be beat.
I know. I was like, oh, this is a fucking epic story. It was going on and going, and then I thought I listened to it all the way through, and then it got to they just got married that day.
Oh man, that puts some more in these stories, man.
See another thing, man. See one of the like meditation videos or things you can listen to if you can't sleep. He's got a beautiful voice.
He's got a very soothing voice.
Right, calming.
Aye.
And just to let you understand, it wasn't his room.
If you want to send voice notes, you can do that. Do that on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear your stories.
Aye, that's good. More like that. More voice notes. That's good.
More like that. And now for this week's Daft Boys. Would you like to hear about the skier who suffered a frozen penis?
Absolutely.
Would you like
I've seen that.
No, keep going.
Would you like to hear about how rats could be biting your mum? Or would you like to hear about the last thought that goes through your head before you die?
That's
I
interesting.
see this fucking rat thing. I've been reading up a lot on this, and I've pure rat protected my house.
How have you done that?
With the pipe, the fucking now your drains outside, man. You can get like wee fucking gate things that can go in them, so the fucking rats can't get off.
You ever saw that?
Aye, I never done it in River City, man. There was a big fucker in the back lot.
See, my dog used to have its dog food in the hut out in the garden. This was Molly. This was 2 golden retrievers ago. And one time I went to pour.
Talking about them like cows.
That was 2 Vauxhall Vectors ago, you can.
And I went to.
One shot, one packed, and I got another one.
By the way, same. My family would always go, "Oh, there'll never be another one in here. That's it. There'll never be another one." Fucking 4 months later, man, back in the websites buying more dugs. Anyway, poured the dog feed in, and 2 big sweaty fucking big massive rats come running out.
Oh, you must have shit yourself.
I shat myself. I mean, I'm bad. See, even if there's a cat, I'm bad with cats. With cats, even at the back door with fucking 2 rats. Oh my god.
So let's go for the thing before you die, John.
Right.
Aye, that's interesting.
Right, okay, right. So the first ever recording of someone, the moment it goes through someone's head when they die, has been recorded, right? They've done this, right? Researchers in the US underwent EEG, which is electroencephalogram, on an 87-year-old man who suffered from epilepsy and was basically on death's doorstep, right? And via this test, they recorded the brainwaves of the patient 15 minutes after they died from a heart attack.
I'm right into this, man.
What has happened is an increase in brainwaves has happened while they've been measuring this. And this is known as gamma oscillations, which supports the idea that your life actually flashes before your eyes when you die.
Do you know what it also supports? It supports the fact that you're still conscious.
Yeah, it does.
Fuck that.
Aye.
Fuck that, man.
But then see that flashing before your eyes stuff? Like, what would come through? I feel as if something pure random would end up coming up, like a time you had a nice big fish supper or something embarrassing happening to you. Like, you know what I mean?
Wee Cathy talking to you outside the pavilion.
I think you've got like a hard drive. I think you've got a hard drive in there and it records everything for the start and you can't remember it until the end and then you get to watch your life all over again.
But that'd be too long.
No, but it would be like a dream. You know how like you feel like you're dreaming for hours and hours and hours, and actually it's only a couple of minutes.
It's only been fucking.
That's mystic, innit?
Yeah. Have you ever had any near-death experiences, boys?
Aye, I have.
What happened to you, Chris?
I nearly drowned in the time capsule.
You nearly drowned?
That's good serious shit, sorry.
I did, honest to God, right? So have you all been in the time capsule?
Aye, man.
Did you stand under the big bucket?
No. Stevie, I said I nearly died. Right, so this is years ago, right? And we used to get in for £1 after school, remember? Right, so me and my big mate went down after school one day, my big mate Feds, and we're in the River Rapids bit. Now, just the River Rapids obviously sweeps you around without, you've got no control over it kind of thing. And as I got to the stair, this big fat woman jumped in for the steps and landed right on top of me, right? But the River Rapids have swept her away and all, and I get stuck between her legs under the water. Now, by the way, I know you're laughing, but this is legit. This is honest to God, the truth. Right, so I've get stuck between her legs and she's getting fucking swept round and I'm trying to get free and I'm fucking like trying to push her and I'll tell you another bit about it after this, right? But I'm trying to push her and she's not doing it and she's not doing anything to stop me from fucking drowning to death. So do you know what I done?
That's what happens, but
I get my fucking I got my nails and because I was inside her legs, I fucking reached up and I nipped the inside of her thigh as hard as I fucking could, right? And apparently she let out this almighty fucking scream. I couldn't hear her because I was under the water, right? But I've come out and as I've managed to get myself up, I'm fucking shouting and bawling at her. I'm like, what you all about? And she's like, you nipped me. And the fucking, the lifeguard's like, I seen the whole fucking lot of it. I know exactly.
It must have looked as if like she gave birth to you. You wee baldy just.
The lifeguard sitting there eating a packet of monster mash on noise, right? I seen the whole lot of it. I seen it fucking helping him.
I seen it, you nearly killed him.
What's the lifeguard doing?
Oh, fuck knows, mate. But honest to God, it's even they say when you're drowning, a calmness comes over you. That's what happened to me. I was like, well, that's it. Honestly, I was like, well, that's it. That's me, indeed.
Chris Toal died in a time capsule.
I've just got images of the wee baby in the front cover of a Nirvana album.
Well, I'm glad we got that story. Well, I'm glad we got that story out of you, Chris. Just about dying in the time capsule. There you go. So
that's the name of the show this week. Drowning in the time capsule.
That's the name of the show this week. Yeah, drowning. So, this week in Football Daft Focus, we're going to be talking to a St Mirren supporter about Stephen Robinson, so we'll get his opinion on it. Sam from the Misery Hunters, which is a St Mirren podcast, which is a great name for a podcast, by the way, for our St Mirren.
The Misery Hunters?
The Misery Hunters.
That's funny.
He'll be on the big question. On the Football Daft Focus. On the big question, have you ever played with an ex-pro?
Yes.
Right, we'll get to your story in a bit, Stephen. Yes. Grado has 3 riddles. I'm sure he does.
Yes,
this.
Good
Brilliant.
ones.
And on teammates is ex-Rangers midfielder Kyle Hutton.
Hey guys, it's a Thursday afternoon. I'm needing a shave. We're recording the podcast at 4:20. I've got it in the back of my mind that I'm going to need to shave for the weekend because I'm going on my holidays. I'm going to Arran. Now, if you're like me, you hate shaving, you dread doing it, look no further. We've got Harry's. Harry's helps you feel good, and it's the easiest way to shave. It comes flake-free, it makes you clear, it makes you healthy, and it feels good. I'm so glad that Harry's have took the time out to let us know about their product, and the fact that they're sponsoring us is cool, because I see Harry's now in the supermarkets, and I've been sent the products, the boys have been sent the products, and it is literally amazing. And I've got a wee trial set for the listeners. Now, the trial set is brilliant because it gives you a wee teaser of what they actually produce. They've got a razor that's expertly engineered. It's got a weighted handle, which is cool. A 5-blade cartridge, 5 blades. It's got a handy foam shell that we're always talking about. It's good for effective lubrication, but it also smells good as well. And it's got the wee travel blade cover, which I'll be using this weekend when I take the boat to Arran. We are offering you the chance to get a wee free shower gel. So listen to this. I don't know about you boys, but I find it a lot easier when I'm in the shower and I use Harry's, the weighted handle with the 5 blades. You really just need to do one quick swoosh and that's you done. You don't need to keep going over yourself. I don't actually use a mirror in the shower, but I know that I'm getting every wee nook and cranny on my face shaved off. And even by using the lubrication for the shower gel, the shaving foam, I know that everything's coming off nice and good. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, Harry's has got one of the best shaves I've ever had is with Harry's, without a doubt.
Look, people probably think that we're getting paid to bump this up, right?
Because look at us, we're all sitting with fucking beards and stuff.
I know, but see the thing is though, it really is a tremendous razor, and I don't use razors often, but when I do, I use my Harry stuff.
Aye, and the shaving gel, the smell of it is beautiful, amazing. Man. It is beautiful.
We all dread it, but what is good today is if you like Toal, if you ever need to, get yourself clean shaven and stuff like that, and you maybe keep on top of yourself with, an electric razor, but when the time comes and you need to get it whacked off, you're only going to be using Harry's, my boy.
100%, mate, and that's not even a lie, so you can take that to the bank. If you're listening, another thing, see the shower gel smells tremendous.
Mm-hmm. It does.
It smells tremendous, and I know we've only just got it through the post the last couple of days, but I've used it 3 times already. So it's you don't get me wrong, it's what you say is Grado. It's the sort of smell where if you're getting ready for a night out, it's that kind of smell. Do you know what I mean? Right. It's got a kind of aftershavey smell about it. It's beautiful, and I tell you something. See, if you're a single man, the ladies will be sniffing you.
Absolutely, absolutely, and the fact is that it exfoliates your skin and it gives you a better chance of cleaner results. And there's 0% sulfates as well, and the parabens and all the different dyes. And actually, believe it or not, it doesn't sting because it's alcohol free.
Mm-hmm. I'm always worried about the parabens. I've got to be honest with you.
Aye, there's a lot.
I sometimes don't sleep at night worrying about them, man.
So we're telling you the now, support the podcast. Get your own wee shower shave a go and you'll get yourself a Harry's trial set. All you need to do is cover the $3.95 deliveries. The website is harrys.com/daft. You're going to get your set delivered to you. State yourself a wee shave plan. Write it down when you're going to shave. Your freebie is going to be added at the checkout and it's as easy as that. Thanks, Harry's. Get yourself to harrys.com/daft.
Now it's time for Football Daft Focus as we get into the big talking points of Scottish football. After the manager merry-go-round the last couple of weeks, it started with Stephen Glass leaving Aberdeen, which meant St Mirren's Jim Goodwin ended up at Pittodrie, while the Buddies ended up appointing ex-Motherwell boss Stephen Robinson. Keep up with that. So on to talk about that and their season as a whole, from the St Mirren podcast, The Misery Hunters, it's Sam Smith.
Hiya, how you doing?
Welcome, Sam, welcome.
Well, I tell you what, Sam, you've not had much misery to hunt recently, have you? It's been a bit of a nightmare for you.
Aye, it's been shite. We've actually been able to kind of talk about winning, which kind of goes against the name of the podcast, but aye.
I know, but Sam...
Did you stay an emergency podcast last week when the rumours were flying about Godwin going up to Dundee? Fuck, Godwin going up to Goodwin to go to Aberdeen.
How many times I've mentioned Goodwin in this pod today and Grado keeps calling him Godwin? I'm
hinting the Godwins, isn't I? Tag team the Godwins.
Sam, right, before we go any further, right, earlier on in the podcast we were talking about the fact that Jim Goodwin seems to have a reputation as an absolute Lothario heartthrob. What's your thoughts? Do you think he's a handsome man? I know I keep talking about handsome men on this show, and I just like to put my girlfriend's mind at rest. Don't worry, sweetheart, you've got absolutely nothing to worry about. I'm appreciative of the male form in all its guises.
Aye, yes, he's a very handsome guy. Seems to be a bit of a qualification that's needed to be the St Mirren manager lately, so...
Grado disagrees, man. Grado doesn't see it. I think Grado's just jealous, man.
No, he looks nice. He suits the grey hair and all that. But you never asked my question. Did you do an emergency podcast? Told just jumped in on my question.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, Grado.
Sorry.
Kind of tied in pretty luckily. We managed to get something out just about the same time as the rumours started to circle. But, you know, for quite a lot of the time, I didn't really think he was going to go. Obviously, he knocked us back initially a few years ago when we went for him, when he was at Alloa. He didn't kind of seem the type of guy who would jump ship halfway through a season. But money talks. I think if you're getting offered 2 or 3 times your wage, it's probably gives you something big time to consider. And maybe, you know, in kind of a few months' time, the job might not have became available for him. And, you know, it's at the same time, there was a few people in our support calling for his head. We were obviously 11 games out of win before we came back for the winter break. And there was a lot of people calling for his head. You know, our support are quite reactionary, but I think it was pretty justified. You know, he was welded to using a system that wasn't working, and then had the winter break to kind of change stuff up, freshen up a wee bit, introduce a couple of new players, and it seems to have worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a big job, the Aberdeen job. You know what I mean? It's like you say there, it doesn't come up every other week, you know. So Aberdeen are a huge club, and I think he's probably justified, I would say, in taking it, even regardless of the money situation. I think it's a bigger job in St Mirren. No disrespect to St Mirren, obviously, but looking forward now, what does Robinson need to do to get his playing the way you want and make sure that he's having a successful season for the rest of the league?
I don't think he needs to change much, to be honest. I think obviously we changed the system. We went to a kind of 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 sort of setup. I mean, he said himself in his interview, he says he just wants to kind of keep things ticking over and then put his own stamp on it over time. I think the only thing I would probably like to see him do is bleed more of the youngsters in. I think Goodwin over the years has kind of seemed a wee bit hesitant to trust some of the younger players. I know he's only really gave debuts to 2 or 3, and 3 of them he was 5, sorry, and 3 of them he was forced to do in the Celtic game just before Christmas, obviously because of the COVID issues. But you know, we've got good players like Dylan Reid and Kieran Offord in our academy who definitely deserve a go. So I'd like to see Robinson kind of give them a go when
It's an unusual situation because usually when a new manager comes in, they're coming in off a series of bad results and sackings and whatever, and the team are playing shite. But Stephen Robinson's coming in. St Mirren are going really well, like you say, after the winter break, and he's inherited this really good situation, which he can only fuck up now. So that that's an issue for him, because if he comes in and it starts going wrong, you're like, oh fuck, But
it's there is obviously the worry. He comes in and tries to change a wee bit too much and we end up getting leathered every week, but I can't really see it happening. He's a kind of a smart guy. His Motherwell teams were never really get a doing off of any team in the league.
No, they do it everybody else, but
Elbows flying everywhere, man.
He does like to get his players, well, whether that's a positive or a negative, he does like...
Are you happy with that appointment, Sam?
I wanted Jack Ross initially, but I think when it became clear that probably wasn't going to happen, I think there was a few rumours flying about that he'd knocked it back for whatever reason. I don't know if he's kind of shat out. Obviously, he's been sacked for his last two. I don't know if he was maybe a wee bit fear in case he made an arse of the season. But yeah, I mean, the names that were mentioned at the time, Scott Brown and Naismith were pretty depressing names to be linked with.
It's a bit like with the Jack Ross thing. It's a bit like Bob, somebody going away to River City and saying, I'm going to make it in Hollywood, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then it falls in its arse, and then they're like that. They don't really want to go back to River City,
What analogy, great. What analogy.
By the way, Stevie's just got a new agent. That might play out over the next couple of years.
Pure no doing the podcast and no doing River City and all that, and a year later, guys, kicking back on.
Sam, what's the aim for the season then? Is it a top 6 finish for St Mirren?
I mean, I've got myself right carried away with the run of form. I'm checking to see if my passport's in date in case I maybe get a wee European tour in the summer. But,
do you know what? It's St Mirren. With your luck, you'd get the Welsh team.
Down to the Valleys for a Europa League qualifier, man.
Further than I've ever been, to be fair. I think the furthest I've been to watch St Mirren's Blackpool, so I think the aim's definitely got to be to finish the top 6. We've kind of left ourselves in a really good position to do it.
Was that a bit of a heartbreak for his last season, wasn't it? Because we used like a game away for it or something. What was it? It was
a mental swing. We were beating Hamilton with a minute to go. Hamilton equalised, and then it would have been fine, but St Johnstone managed to get themselves ahead as well. But it was our fault last year. We had a big run of games in February. I think we had 4 or 5 games in hand. We drew 4 of them, so it's our fault. But I think I'm a lot more confident this year. We seem to have bucked the trend of losing or dropping points in games that we should be winning. We kind of should be picking points up.
While Goodwin was the manager. You never know what's round the corner, Sammy boy.
The thing is, man, Stephen Robinson's coming in, man. He's a flying a wee bit now, and he's not even as good looking as Goodwin either, man. He's got a lot of pressure on him, hasn't he, man?
He's not ugly, to be fair.
I'm not saying he's ugly, Sam. I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm just saying he's not a good one.
Is he better looking than Gio? Is he better looking than Gio? Is he?
No,
I think they're running about the same height. So
aye, all 3 years are about the same height. So, aye. So you were saying earlier on, obviously, that you've the furthest you've been is Blackpool. Stephen and Grado have been all over the place following Rangers, Dundee, Hamilton.
So Sam, thanks for coming on, mate. And
hey, bother at all.
Well, but listen, Sam, really appreciate you coming on. If you are a St Mirren supporter, make sure you give the Missy Hunters a listen. How often do you get the podcast out, Sam?
Usually, can I try and get them out once every week? Usually on a Wednesday, just depending on what commitments and that. But just once a week.
Fantastic.
Nice one.
Well, best of luck with it. And thanks for coming on Football Daft.
Football Daft's big question.
So it's the big question, and last week Chris revealed on the podcast that he once scored a penalty against Craig Nelson. So this week we thought, have you ever played with
Craig Nelson?
He played for Rangers, mate.
Ex-Falkirk goalkeeper,
guys. Tap corner penalty shootout against Rob Douglas.
Aye, but mate, you weren't a 7-year-old dwarf.
It was only a few years ago, wasn't it, for Alpha?
Well, we thought we'd put it out there. Have you ever played with an ex-pro at 7s, 5s, amateur level? Oh God, let's go with Stephen first. Stephen, have you got any stories for us?
Well, right. I've played up front with Alan McCoist in a charity match. I've played at Ibrox in a Legends game with Michael Moles, Pedro Mendes, Lorenzo Amoruso, managed by Archie Knox. Against the
were you a spunk or shite bag?
I was spunk that day, my boy. I was spunk. I've played against Neil Lennon. He complimented me to begin with, and then actually put me on my ass when I tried to go into a shoulder to shoulder with him. It was more a shoulder to thigh with Neil Lennon, and he put me on my ass. I think Tozer that day, no?
I received a pass from Owen Coyle.
Hey, friend of the show and probably one of the best ex-pros you would see live. He's fucking deadly.
He is. Him and McCoy up front.
Deadly.
And the first half was frightening.
And
the both of them are into their 50s, aren't they? If I'm not mistaken. So it was.
John, I've played with them all, John. Played with them all.
Chris, you've obviously reflected there. Was anyone else apart from Craig Nelson and
Grader's reflecting, but no.
That day, the man that stood out amongst everybody because he had the ball for, I think it was 87% of the game.
Jose Kitongo.
Jose Kitongo, man.
Yes. Mate, I swear to God, I was in the same team as him. I scored 5 goals the year after. 5 goals. I get me and Big Brian McPhee up front. But I've never said the words so much in my life. Jose. It just doesn't pass. But it's phenomenal.
I can't believe you've left Brian McPhee out, mate. Salt and pepper.
We're up front 2 years in a row. I scored. Love him. Love playing with Brian McPhee.
Bodo.
I mean, I've got all the experiences in all these charity games and all that. I'm not on long enough to say that I've done it, and I got on for about a minute and then they take me back off.
You're going for the veins, man, to hit the ref and cheer the veins up.
Just wear the leotard.
We've discussed it before. Next charity game, you're going in the sticks.
I totally regret that. I have totally regretted that since I stopped doing the games. I should have went in goals. And even the goalie was like, "Why are you not getting goals? You've told me you were a goalie." He was like swap offs with me. And I was like, no, I don't want it. I'm too fit. I wish I'd done it.
And the thing I know, man, one of the ones where I was a shite bag too, I wasn't spunk. Yeah, I've told this story before, but it's still, man. All right.
Go on, Stephen. Go on. The listeners probably.
It's the day he was meant to come down, I know, man, and fucking Brian, what's his name? What's his name again? Brian Figo. What's his name? Brian
Go. Just call him
Brian Go. Just Brian Go.
Matthews. Set the tires.
Matthews. So, he's kidding on. And then fucking, I seen me Ryan Dunbar was jumping right over that, man, saying you're a disgrace.
Oh, seriously, was he? Oh, right.
This doesn't do anything for a reputation. Anyway, fucking Brian Grado was meant to turn up. They didn't fucking turn up. I turned up. And it was a Derek Lyle testimonial. I'm sitting there, man, with the Rangers players, and it was the Rangers legends against a fucking Queen of South Select, man, and all the boys are getting round saying hello to each other and all that, not seen each other ages. I'm sitting in the corner next to Barry Ferguson. Big Jig comes in, he's like, all right, wee man. What the fuck you doing? And the team sheet's got released, and it's all the players, and at the bottom somebody wrote with a pen, ships and pop. Then he was Stephen Purden, and it was all fucking it was all typed up and all that. It's all fucking somebody's got a biro, look, can't remember his name.
Stevie, now you know how I felt when I was meant to be the mascot at Dortmund. Alright, man, what you doing here?
But it makes you feel the shit because, again, I'm going to catch shit for saying I've told this story before or not, but I don't know if I've... But Derek Johnson was the manager of the Rangers once.
You've told us it before, mate. Right, what's next, John?
Yes, that's been done to death.
I've had that a couple of times, to be fair, Grado.
You know what he says to me? Do you know what he turned around and says to me?
What did he say again?
But see, fucking one thing, man. Sergey kept going like that to me, Barry Ferguson kept going like that. And he says, Bob's like, he's fast. So I've played against Bob Punners at times, like Shelton Juniors. He's like, he's fucking fast. Sergey's going like that to me. What, are you good? And I was like, mate, I'm all right, man. Like, I don't. He's like, right, so see if I ping it, will you catch it? And I'm like, aye, mate. Because on me, honestly, I had the worst game of my life. I get subbed after 10 minutes. Horrendous, man. I just wanted to go home to my mummy and daddy that day. I felt fucking horrible, man. Honestly, it was terrible.
Jesus Christ, man.
I think the only experience I've really had, but like I've played a couple of 5-7s games where there's been ex-pros have turned up. So I turned up for 5s once, and there was a boy in the middle of the park, and he was just, I didn't recognise him, but it's like
Prozinetsky.
It wasn't Prozinetsky, no.
Smoking a fag.
He just sat in the middle of the park. It was like ping there, top bin. And he's going, what a fucking player this boy is. But he didn't move. And it was only afterwards I went, who was that was playing there? He said, that was Neil Murray. He used to play for Rangers.
Neil Murray? Fuck's sake.
That's a blast for the past.
Aye, that is.
But what a player. And do you know what? It's when you play with a pro, though, see the way they hit the ball compared to like the way we'll kick a ball. It's unbelievable, the difference.
Alex Ray kept saying that to me, man, warming up on the pitch for the Legends game.
Yeah.
Alex Ray kept saying he was just passing the ball back and forward. And I was like, I kept looking up at Nicola and my pals and all that. He started pure waving at him, man. And I'm passing the ball back to Alex Ray and it's got away earlier. And he kept going, oh, fuck's sake, me, man, calm down. And I'm like, all right, you calm down. He's like, and he's passing the ball to me again, and I'm just pure doing the usual, man. He's passing the ball, I didn't want to touch with him, and I just started doing all this, man. The pure stun like that. Oh, fucking warming up like that, man.
It's awkward because you feel as if every cunt's looking at you.
Aye, me and Jordan just kept looking at each other.
Stevie and that, you'll usually agree with me. You'll see if you're coming on as a sub. That's a fucking, you're standing there and you know every cunt's looking at you. It's not a case of you think every cunt's looking at you, you just want the world to swallow you up.
Man.
Aye, especially when I'm coming on standing next to fucking handsome ass Jordan or Trim and all that, and I've got the fucking tap on, it looks like a fucking goonie on me, man, it's down to my knees and all that. Fucking, I look terrible, had the hair transplant done, my hair was all messed and it was all early camp and all that. Jordan's going on pure fucking, I'm like, alright. Oh.
You just had your fucking hair done. You wouldn't be going in for any waist high headers at that point, would you?
No, mate, you're no joking. I just had my hair done, and after the game, we're all in the shower, and I'm getting a shower, and then Bob Malcolm comes in with a tap for everybody to sign, and in front of everyone, he's like, "What the fuck happened to your hair transplant?" So I was just at the shower. I was at the shower, and you could purely see my scalp and all that, man. Oh, it was embarrassing, man. What a day.
That's one that wakes you up during the night,
Oh.
Aye, definitely.
Well, the listeners have had lots of experience with playing ex-pros as well. Let's kick off with Alexander Stan. He says, I remember helping out in a game of 5s after a mate asked, and there was a one boy just ripping everyone to shreds, scoring from all angles, barely lost the ball, never broke sweat. Found out afterwards it was Jamie Stevenson, who was with Morton at the time.
Oh, brilliant.
It destroyed us.
Right. Grant says, stood on a wall for Nakamura in a free kick competition he had for Japanese TV. Naka had to go in goals with 5 foot something guys in his wall, e.g. me, while Naka had to shoot into a wall of Glasgow Warriors and a pro keeper. Now,
what a story that is.
See, straight away, you're like, that's a lot of shite. But the guys actually included a photograph of it.
Aye, that is amazing, actually, man.
Well done, Grant. Brilliant.
That's fucking something, man.
He's in my all-time top 3 Celtic players, man.
Aye, but he's not on your 11, but I know Scott Sinclair.
Well, Scott Sinclair. Well, Scott Sinclair's ahead of him in my all-time Celtic.
Raymond said, played a few games with New Sunderland manager Alex Neil as he grew up in the same area as me. Think he played in first gear, and I was shattered at the end. He played in the Queen of the South Select and the Testimonial I played in.
Bet he was good. I bet Alex Neil was a good player.
He was solid, man.
Andrew says he played 5s in a charity game in Drummond against John Hartson and Charlie Miller. Tommy Sheridan was there as well. I was probably on the bench. Ended back up at a club in Manchester with him. It was a disaster.
Yeah, Tommy Sheridan's some player, by the way.
Aye, man, he fucking ruined the last game at the Buffs Park, open goal, man, free. They let me fucking shoot the ball in the net, and he comes in the middle of nowhere and scoofs it away. Took away my dream.
And mate, he's fucking solid, I know, isn't he?
Never
he's
forgive
solid.
him, man.
Also, what you need to take into account is, see if Tommy Sheridan ever asks you to go to a club, make sure you know what type of club it is.
And do you know what else you've missed there, Grado, man? It says Tommy Sheridan was there as well, ended up back at a club in Manchester. It was a disaster.
It was a disaster.
It was queued up for you, Grado. It was queued up.
Fucked it, man.
Right,
Fucked
man.
it.
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Every so often on this show, there's Tommy Sheridan jokes. It's getting tiresome.
I know what you're doing there, mate. I know what you're doing there. Aye.
Just leave Tommy alone, for fuck's sake.
Aye. I know what you're doing there, mate. I see what you're doing there.
Ricky played with Martin Gren at Fives about 20 years ago. What a player. Also, friend of the show, Daryl Duffy. Turns up for our sevens on a Monday night sometimes, but I just stick him in my back pocket and let him out sometimes.
Lads, this is a pure throwback to the
Legends
Lottery. Craig Mitchell says, Hamish French is from my village and I played in a bounce game with him to open MLick FC 17's new pitch a few years back. It's only welfare level, but he absolutely bossed the midfield well into his 50s.
Who got him on the postcode? Who was it?
Me.
Was you in it?
Aye.
That was brilliant, man. That was brilliant. They were good days, man. David Logan says, nutmegged me too and my kids were there watching. What was that?
What's that? I don't know. I've copied
it. Says David Logan. You've missed the name of the player, John.
Somebody nutmegged David Logan and his kids were watching. They've never wanted to see me play since. I think we should just put it out there to the universe and we'll all just imagine who it was. I'm going to say it was Rui Costa.
I'm going to go for Mark Walters.
Good one. John.
Ali McCoy. It's got to be Ali McCoy.
Fredo.
Sebastian Rosenthal.
Sebastian Rosenthal. It was Dewey.
Adi Akinbai. Anyway. SM86 says he played a few games of 11s with Toal's favourite, Mr. Brian McPhee. Even in his 40s, he told the defence a new hole. Cracking guy, full of banter and a pleasure to talk to.
Oh, I've just found out who David Logan got in. Who nutmegged?
Who is it?
He's an A, B or C.
What, an A, B or C? What do you mean?
Aye.
All right, okay. Okay. Was it A, Brian McPhee?
Get to think about it too long, it wasn't him.
Was it B, Yogi Hughes? Or was it C, Jose Kotongo?
It was Jose Kotongo.
Nutmegs, it's Jose.
It was Jose, nutmeg Kotongo. Can I tell you as well, I nutmegged, while we're on the season nutmeg and this whole thing, it wasn't an ex-pro, but I nutmegged Reverend and the Makers, John McClure. We were playing fives against him, and they also played in that game, the guy that was in the front of the Arctic Monkeys album cover with a fag.
Oh, I'm sitting with a fag.
Fuck's sake, I've heard this story more than Grado's Derek Johnson, man.
Anyway, Jamie says, mate, John Barnes. I'm only kidding on, John, it's your shot, mate.
There you go. SM86 played we've done that one. Jamie says, met John Barnes on an inflatable soapy pitch at a water park in Menorca when I was 12 or 13. He was shite, but so was everyone else on that pitch, to be fair.
Hey, I've ever taken me the time I was on holiday with the Motherwell players. Although, funnily enough, and I've probably not tell you this one, it sinks along. I played with a guy called Jake Taylor, who played with Reading at the time, and Sharm el Sheikh. We played a game of fives, and incidentally, that summer he ended up going to Motherwell on loan. So all kind of connects.
There you go.
Your shot, too, on you go, mate.
Stephen says, I played against my hero Super Ali in a game of 11s. He was class. He scored 4, but my brother J Mac nutmegged. Oh, his brother nutmegged Ali.
You don't do that. You don't do that. That's disrespectful, man. Colin says, when growing up in Ballarnock, East End of Glasgow, and I played alongside Graham Dorrans, ex-West Brom and Rangers player. Also played with Stephen Dobby, ex-Rangers, Blackpool Swans and Queen of South player, and Wally Howie, Partick Thistle. And I'm shite at football.
You're all right. So was Wally Howie.
Canio Outis says he played against Ryan Stevenson and Christian Nadi when they were at Troon FC. Both of them were quality. The guy McShane for Darvel was absolutely honky-tonk. I'm sure John remembers him as well.
Oh, that'll be...
McShane?
Ian McShane used to get called Lovejoy, obviously, as his...
Big Deadwood.
he played for Falkirk for a wee bit and he was shit.
Right, here's a thing, right?
John, see when Falkirk get rid of them, were they clearing out the Deadwood?
Here's a thing, man, like, it's good, a guy's made it to a certain level, right? But with the name McShane, man, you just know he's not going to be good. I don't know why.
Are you trying to say certain names that don't make good?
Aye, because I can't imagine, like, fucking... I don't know, commentators people going mental, like, and it's McShane. It just doesn't sound right, do you know what I mean? Anyway.
Icefield sent me off on one, man.
I know what you mean, like players that have shite names, but they're brilliant.
Unfashionable names.
Like John Brown, centre half, amazing centre half, John Brown. I suppose that's different.
Aye, it's
but
like
I'm trying to think of one.
It's like, you know, I can't imagine like fucking Clive Tills or something. It's McShane. You know, it just doesn't sound right.
Here's one. Malky Mackay.
It's Mackay.
Or anybody with the surname Pettigrew. You know what I mean?
Water ball, that is from Pettigrew.
Wally Pettigrew, man. He's fucking tremendous.
Hugh Grado.
I played for, this is Am I Jacker Victor, he says, I played for Rangers in a soccer aid game at Ibrox in 2010, scored the first goal. Super Ali and Derek McInnes were in my team. Don't think Ali ran the length for himself. McInnes was decent enough.
I'm not having that, because any time I've been like in that one that we done, McCoy Strand, he only played half an hour right enough, but he ran.
See, the thing is, see where he is still when he plays these charity games. He doesn't need to run. He's in the positions.
He didn't run as a pro. He didn't run.
He's in the position. Aye.
I know.
Aye. A half time when he came on and all, mate, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's one for these lads. Blair Campbell says, not football, but I managed to get the goalie to come and play a charity cricket match.
That's funny.
The committee were shiting themselves about a bar tab at the hotel he was staying at, and they were paying, but there was no dramas. The goalie was outstanding with everybody pre and post match.
That's a good one. That's nice.
For anyone who doesn't know, the goalie is Mr. Friend of the show, Andrew Gorham.
And DMC says, I played against Owen Coyle at Steny in a sevens tournament. Asked him about champ manager legends Mark Kerr. He was at Falkirk back then. He was thinking about getting a dog. He was torn between Totten and Yogi for the name. You know what happened.
Anyway, see if I get another dog, I'm considering it.
Call it Totten.
Aye. Totten Toal.
I don't know why it makes me laugh every time he puts something in there.
That's brilliant. Totten Toal. I love that, man.
Right. It's that part of the show where we go to the player profile playoff with piesports.com. We give you the chance to win pies on the show every week. And remember, Pie Sports can bring pies to your door. You'll get Scotch, steak and gravy, macaroni, sausage and steak. And the new one on the range, which everyone's loving, is the doner kebab pie. If you want them, hit up the website now, piesports.com, or give them a call on 0141 739 9999. They will deliver free of charge to many postcodes across Scotland. They'll get them for the games at the weekend. But as I say, we like to give them away on Football Daft every week. And on to play for the pies this week, it is Craig Ticking Over, which is the name of his podcast. How you doing, Craig?
Hi, Craig.
I'm good, man. I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing to see you. How are you?
Brilliant.
Mate, I'm just on Spotify and now open up your podcast.
Aye, what is it?
It's, you'll not care, mate, because I emailed you about 6 months ago and you patched me.
That's no surprise there.
Sorry. That's what I did.
Listen, you're not in special company there, mate. He does it to all you. Don't fucking worry about it.
We're just three guys that met in TikTok and we get sick of TikTok. We decided to do a podcast with lockdown. And we talk about everything, mate, for shiting yourself to COVID to who would win at a fight between Robocop and Terminator. You know what I mean? It's a laugh and we get a good response. So I keep doing it because it's good for our mental health and all, you know what I mean?
Good on you. What was your last straw with TikTok?
Trolls and jealousy and people try to make your life a misery. So just can't have it, you know what I mean?
That was just Chris Toal.
You must have been doing pretty well then for getting comments like that.
It's just one of the things. People just don't like other people to see other people doing well. So I'm better after it.
That's why you see on my TikTok, I don't even allow comments because see the comments that you get when you post a TikTok, it's fucking unreal. It is unreal, man.
Oh, fuck it, assholes into you.
What you need to remember is it's 90% Waynes that are on that, so they've got no fucking...
Cool, that's what I was going to say. My daughter's obsessed with it, and it worries me because she's just got a wee private thing she does with her wee pals, but for the life they're going to have soon, that whole fucking world terrifies me, man.
It should be, I mean, surely that should be like an hour a night and mega regulated. I mean, I've heard some of the Waynes when they're on iPad and it comes up and they're talking about Des Nielsen or Squid Games. I'm like, get that. How's that?
Mate, that was massive. Like Roblox and all that Squid Game. They were doing like Squid Game games on it. Anyway, this is your time, my man. Sorry.
I can see
Sorry, Craig.
Look at the vibe I'm getting, Craig. How could anybody send a nasty message to Craig? You sound like a nice guy, man.
I want to know, listen, Forget all this
I look at
TikTok
Tam's
stuff.
Dragons, I know I'm told.
Is that right? Fuck's sake, mate.
That's what
You're
you're told,
one
right?
lucky
You get cooked.
bastard.
Well, who would win the fight between Robocop and Terminator? That's what I'm interested in. All this.
Oh, isn't it? Just shoot Robocop in the face.
I see, that's it, aye.
I'd go Terminator, man.
Ron,
His chin, it'd need to be his chin with it, no, because his face is kind of covered
That's
up, isn't it?
Didn't it there, innit? So there.
Aye, I know. There's only so much damage you can do to your chin. You know what I mean?
Are you saying
Who's
Robocop
jealous?
was done like Toe?
I've got a dog in this race, mate. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm going Terminator, man. Definitely Terminator.
Anyway, right. We'll get in that another day. You're on to play for the Pies, Craig. All right. You're a Rangers supporter. Okay. Who would you like to play? I'll give you the option of.
It'd be an absolute honour playing anyone. He's honest to God. I can't wait. I'm going to.
This guy just wants the pies. He wants to make sure that he can have the pies anyway.
Right, I was the on last week. So who won last week?
I won.
Credo.
Did you right? I was on the week before, right? I played the week before. There was a transfers or whatever.
My turn then.
No, but I was going to say, Grado's acting all nicey here, and I love it when a guy like yourself, Craig, is so nice. I would love to see you beating Grado because he goes in a fucking huff.
That's it then. Game on. Game on.
Mate, you've got a big smiley face. You're brand new, and I could just see him if you beat him going. I will play, Craig. Fuck off, Craig.
Hey, before we go any further, this is a football podcast. What team do you support, Craig?
Rangers, I said.
He's a Rangers fan.
You're a Rangers fan.
I've got a season ticket for Everton, but I like to go and see the Bankies. I was at the Bankies last night.
Oh, well, yeah, the Bankies, aye.
That's heartbreaking because two handsome men like me and you, there shouldn't be a split in the divide.
See if it makes you feel any better, mate. I listen to Celtic Daft every week.
Good man.
I've just listened to this week's one and see your analysis of the Scottish refereeing to include Rangers in it and all. It's the most unbiased fucking view that I've heard.
He's good, isn't he, Craig? He hides it well, man.
He's good.
He does do well.
Aye, right. He comes in with fucking diet VAR.
You used to check his Twitter in 2008, mate.
Right, let's get into the game then, boys. So we're going to play
Grado. I'm kidding.
Grado versus Craig. Here we go then, right? Now, boys, have you heard the Masters football is coming back to Braehead?
Oh, I cannot fucking wait. Honestly,
we need to get on this and try and get some sort of media shit.
Aye, we should be doing it live for him, man.
Right, well, we'll get on that, right? So Braehead, July the 3rd, the Masters football, July the 8th is coming back at Braehead. So what I thought we'd do is we'd cast our mind back to Masters footballs of the past, and I have specifically picked out the 2003 tournament. Graydon's not happy with this. Graydon's not happy with this.
Stevie, you've played a blinder, mate.
Come on, Craig.
We're going back to the Masters football tournament of 2003, and we're going to pick out some of the players that played for the various teams. So Celtic, Hibs, Rangers and Hearts were all involved in the Scottish Masters. You've just got to guess the player as usual from the description. You know the answer to the player, you buzz in with, give me the answer. If you get it wrong, play hands over to the other person. First to two wins. But first of all, I will need your buzzer. Craig, what are you going for?
Da,
right. Grado?
Da.
Okay.
Was that EPL's first word?
Yeah.
Right. Here we go. First player out. Here we go, boys. After playing for Newcastle, Dundee United and Hibs, this player arrived at Celtic.
No, fuck, I've made an answer.
Right, Grado, you were in first.
Made an answer.
Go wasn't he?
Oh, I heard him first. Craig.
No, you were in first when you go, Craig.
Dan Jackson.
Correct. 1-0.
I was going to say, you bastard!
I put it on a plate for you as well, Grado. I put it on a plate for you.
Fucking, that's what I was going to say.
Paul Gascoigne's best pal at Newcastle.
That's fucking hell.
Grado, change your buzzer, mate. You would have got in there first.
No, do you know what I thought, right? This is a God's honest truth, and I swear in Pierre's life. I said,
Steve got a dunk.
He said, see how when as soon as he said ex-Newcastle, I went, that's Dan Jackson. But then he said, who did you say, Dundee United and what?
Hibs.
Aye.
Fuck, I never heard Hibs.
1-0 to Craig. Come on,
It
John.
doesn't matter, but I got that
1-0,
anyway, mate. So
1-0
it's
Craig.
one each technically. But
Okay.
There he goes.
This is it starting, Craig. Remember what Stevie was saying a minute ago?
It's starting. Right. This centre half played for Hibs at this tournament, although he could have actually also played for Celtic. He played for the East.
Dada! He goes.
Okay, goes
John
first.
again.
First.
John Yogi Hughes.
2-0 Craig.
All over. It's all over.
Fuck's sake.
That's him raging now for the rest of the
Craig,
show.
do
Thanks,
you know what?
Craig.
He's another one.
You're very. I'm going to give you this one because you like this one, Grado. You like this one.
Right.
This goalkeeper only played 7 games for Rangers, but was there for 9 in a row after signing for.
Dada!
Easy.
Andy Dibble.
It is Andy Dibble.
Cool, right, see you later, Craig, boy!
Well played, Craig. 2-0.
A whitewash, Craig. A whitewash. Well played, mate.
Aye, man.
Thank
Very
you, guys.
good game, though. Very good game.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Craig.
Aye, drink your angry water there, son. Drink your
Yes, Grado having a big angry drink like Toal. Brilliant.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, son.
There you go. Craig, well done. You've won the pies. And remember, if you want pies just like Craig, head to piesports.com right now.
It's now time for Grado's 3 riddles on Football Daft.
Recorded an edition of Grado's 3 riddles. The scores currently show.
Right, okay. The scores currently are... Well, we do last week's riddle first because there's been some more controversy. Right, so this was the one that we threw out to the listeners last week. It was the following. French City is not a good father. Stephen, you weren't here. What do you think that means?
That's easy. That's easy, actually.
What is that?
Leo Abada.
Leo Abada.
Aye, Abada. Aye.
Abada. Well
I think
played.
that was off last week, mate.
Sorry, mate.
That well played. So, loads of people.
Watch that, Grado, Emma.
Loads of people tried to beat Dean, right? So
The fact you said tried means that they didn't.
Aye.
Scott Stewart, John Mitchell were a few that tried to beat him, but unfortunately, he's in again. He's in again.
John, block him.
He's in a good. You and plus, he's not happy with you, Chris Toal. You labelled him a Celtic supporter last week, right?
Right.
It turns out he's a Jambo. So
Yeah, don't be a jambo, Toal.
Double block him.
double block him.
Is he going to be overtaking me soon?
Well, I'll give you the scores. Ali McDonald on 1, Pat the Pallet Prick on 1, Declan Ramage 1, Albert Sledge on 1, John Mitchell on 1, Ian Miko 1, Jack 1, Ryan Dunbar 2, producer Ryan 2, Nicola Purden on 2, Dean is now on 7, Stephen, you're on 14, I'm on 18, and Chris is at the top of the leaderboard on 32. Grado, have you got the riddles for this week?
Yes, I have. And they
You'll
are
never catch me, Dean.
3 different. I've decided to expand a wee bit. They're international players.
No.
They are non-football players, but still involved in football in some way or another. And we'll start
Ex-football
off-
players, you mean?
No,
No?
don't get smart.
Non-football players?
See, don't. Right.
Hey, wait till we see, right, wait till we
Right,
see.
okay. First riddle. Watching Big Jet TV in my dream coat. Watching Big Jet TV in my dream coat.
I don't know what Big Jet TV is, so I'm
Jerry.
It's the planes. Remember it was on viral last week? It was showing you
It's
the kind of crosswinds.
It's going to be Jerry.
Boateng.
Nope.
Jerry. It's Jerry something, isn't it?
in my dream coat would be Jason.
Jerry Pettigrew. I don't know.
Jerry McShane.
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Sadowitz.
It's no Jerry.
Is it Jason?
Right, sorry, I've gone
It's
down the
no
wrong way.
Jason.
Right, in my dream coat.
Hold on. Hey, hold on.
Joseph.
Sorry, Joseph. Why did I say Jason? Oh, good
Joseph
Catholic.
Plain.
Good Catholic, eh? Doesn't even know it's fucking Joseph.
Joseph Plain. Joseph Airbus.
Joseph Boeing.
I don't want to give somebody a thing with, but somebody's kind of mentioned, somebody's been there. They've been close to it already.
Joseph Airbus.
Not Joseph Airbus.
Joe Aribo.
Nope.
Damn it.
Oh.
Toal, you were the closest so far.
I can't even remember anything I've said. Fuck.
Sake. He's getting good at these guys, don't we?
Something Joseph.
He's very good at these.
Oh, is Joseph a surname, Gredo?
You made a mistake, but a mistake that would have cost you a good. You would have. It was helping you. The mistake was right.
My mistake.
Pettigrew. Jason. Oh, it's Jason Scotland. Jason
What did
DeVos.
Toal say Jason?
Right. Let's just
Right.
think about this.
Right.
The dream coat.
Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yes. Who has been played in the past by
Jason Donovan.
Donovan.
Philip Schofield.
Philip Schofield, aye.
All right, Phil.
Landon
I'm not-
Donovan.
Well done. Well done. See, come on. I know
Landon Donovan.
you were thinking Jason is Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I thought I
Aye.
can't believe that. That's weird. But I'm
Landon
thinking about Jason
Donovan.
Donovan.
Landon, that's a good one, Grado, man. That's a good one.
That's why
It's a good one when Stephen gets a point, eh?
Aye.
That's why I get mixed
Hey,
up.
I've got fucking Dean catching me here. You know what I mean?
Aye, right.
Round you, Dean. Round you, Dean.
That's you on 15, mate. That's you on
Aye.
15.
Okay, so guys. Second riddle. American president in a wee hat. Or should I say? It's not in the right order, but you get it. American president in a wee hat.
Fanini George. Don't know why.
Tammy Abraham.
Well done, Bob.
Come on.
Nice.
Oh,
Round you, Dio.
God.
That's a belter. Abraham Lincoln, man. Old Tammy.
But
That's a great one, that, Riddle. Keep them coming.
Hit me, Grado. Guys, come on in.
you'll get this right away, so you need to be quick.
Obama Stetson.
She packed her trunk and went for a haircut.
Nelly. Nelly the elephant packed her trunk.
Said goodbye to the circus. Off she went with somebody.
Simon Donnelly.
Donnelly, very good.
Eddie Barber.
Well done, Bob, and he wins it today.
Oh!
That's a hat trick for Bob.
Oh. Right, that's too good. Fuck's sake, he's only 1 point off me now. Shit. Right,
Comes away.
Chris is away. Chris is away. Right. Oh, man, I'm gutted. Right.
Well
Riddle-
done, Stevie. Well done, mate.
Thank you, Tom.
Right,
Thank you.
Dean, you're
I need to thank the Riddler first. Thank you, Graham. Good ones, mate.
You text him the answers today, Grado.
Oh, it sounds
Probably
like
so
that, doesn't
fucking. It does sound
sorry,
like.
sorry.
When did I ever get 3 right? But fuck's sake.
Right.
When did I ever get 1 right?
By the way, you get 4 right. You get Loyola Bada as well.
Dean, come on, Dean, catch up, mate. Fuck's
Right,
sake.
okay. So this
John,
one.
watch your back, bro.
Now do the tune. It's the football daft moment of the week, and last week's results are in. Stephen missed this, so I nominated last week the Steny half-time draw after my mate won it. Won 270 quid down at the Warriors. However, that was in last place and only got 11% of the vote.
Oh.
I never came last.
You didn't.
Fuck's sake.
However, on Twitter, someone got in touch saying, remember we were talking about how no one you never ever know is won a half-time draw. One of the champions on Twitter says, just listen to the show today, I won the half-time draw. I brought 5,400 quid.
Who's that?
Yeah, one of the champions on Twitter. And similar to what I was speaking about being the guy after the guy that bought the ticket, his pal bought the ticket before me and he didn't even see the draw and he came up and said he was 1 number off.
Ooh.
And then he turned to his mate and went, well, it was me, so there you go. In third place, I can't believe they've done this. The listeners have rallied the wagons around Stephen Purden. Ryan does a nomination of Stephen drinking from a Celtic mug on River City, only got 19%. I'm very disappointed in you all. However, I'm more disappointed you for the next one, which ended up in second place, right? Chris, this heartwarming, beautiful story. This wee boy from Swindon couldn't afford to go to the matches. Attached 26 pence to a letter. Sent it to his favourite player, saying, Harry McCurdy, I love you. You're my favourite player, but I can't afford to go to the matches. That was in second place. You heartless bunch. I cannot believe that was in second place. Update on that story, by the way. They did a crowdfunder and they've raised £10,000 for this wee boy and his mum.
Nice.
So, did they find him then?
Still not being able to track him down, but they're desperate to try to track him down. So fingers crossed.
every woman with a 6-year-old Wayne. It was me. It was us. It was us. It's not bad. 10 grand for a 26 pence coupon.
Wee Joe, hopefully they managed to track him down. But that was in second place. So what could be in first place? It was Grado's choice. 47% of the vote. Fashion's passion after he scored that fluky goal against Aaron, which was meant to be a cross, and Roy Mackay laughed in his face. So that's what we're dealing with here. That's the listeners we're dealing with.
I don't. Is Grado no banned for like picking figs in club as well?
Aye, it starts this week.
It starts this week. The ban starts this week.
I'm not allowed to pick Celtic stuff, but to be fair to me, I very rarely do.
You don't, that's true actually.
However, there are some people that are on this podcast that go back to the well every time, Chris, and I don't want to point any fingers at said people. But, you're not allowed to vote on something for your own club, all right? And I know this is difficult, Stephen. I know this is difficult for you, especially this week.
Right, okay.
Rachel, you won, so you get to pick first.
All right, okay, I'm going to go to 11:58 at Tannadice. Before the game starting on Sunday.
I know you're going to go here for. I know you're good for here.
Man, Sky must have been biffing right out because maybe I've got my timings wrong, but I'm sure the Rangers fans were asking Boydie to sing a certain song, and then it just pans into a wee guy, can't be anywhere older than 12-year-old, getting at the wanker sign. Right. And it's side on him going away, and I'm going, Sky will be sitting there going, it's not even fucking 12 o'clock now. Wait on this. It was funny as hell, man.
I love that. You know what? There's something funny about just giving the wankers to the away supporters, isn't it? It's a missing art. It's a lost art in the game, I would say.
It's when they do that. I know you can't see the podcast, but see when folk do this, they do the wanker sign, but they go like that and all up. They go.
The wanker and the finger at the same time.
At the same time.
It's class, absolutely class.
Right. We've all had that wanker finger at the same time.
Yeah.
And the tone is lowered yet again by Chris Toal. Just said, right, Chris.
My turn.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to pick Celtic stuff, so I'm going to go with Rangers' tremendous performance against Borussia Dortmund. I'm only joking. I'm going to go with New Zealand versus the USA. Women's international football. Half an hour has passed by. America are 3-0 up. All 3 goals have been scored by the same player, a hat-trick. Unbelievable. However, the woman that scored the hat-trick played for New Zealand. 3 OGs, but the same player within half an hour and then get subbed off greeting.
It's a fucking shame. Jim, we could get her on the show.
Let's get...
I don't think she's going to be doing anything anyway now. So.
I know, exactly. She'll be free.
Poor lassie, poor lassie. There's nothing worse. See when
I'll tell you what. See the first one, some finish.
I know. See when you play 7s or 5s and you score an own goal. Oh, no worse feeling than that. Right, Stephen, what are you going for? Are you struggling, son? You all right?
No. I'll go for. I don't know if this is true. Actually, I've not read up more on that. I just seen wee bits of it. But Mark McGee getting appointed, but he still has to sit out for 6 games. Am I right?
Yes, aye.
That's just so Scottish football. Like Gordon Strachan he's involved with Dundee, and he getting his pal Mark in, and he can't even be in a dugout. I'll go with that.
He just wanted somebody to sit with him in the stands.
But I would just like a special mention for like my team doing well and Germany on Thursday.
You're buttering them up so they choose Mark McGee because you're saying.
I'm just saying, like,
as well.
There's only one team that really does it for the coefficient, and it's us. But I'll not talk about it.
That's all right, mate. You coefficient all you want. We'll just stick to what's happening in the league. All right, thanks very much. Right, what's you saying there, John?
I'm going to go there, but listeners.
Been that angry today, I didn't get any fucking juice left.
You fucking talking about.
I've got the listeners' nomination for this week, and it comes from Michael Coy, who has nominated the fact that Fabrizio Romano broke the news about Stephen Robinson going to St Mirren.
What? Where did that come from? Fabrizio Romano talking about fucking Stephen Robinson going to St Mirren?
For more so that is the listeners' nominations. Fabrizio Romano breaking the Stephen Robinson news. So there you have it.
We need to have a word about this guy. Who are his contacts? Because that guy,
he does get it, doesn't he?
99.9% of the time, he's absolutely dead on the money.
Yes, yes.
I know, and he was right with that one as well. So that's your nominations for this week. Grado's got
Juvenile Arab performs unbefitting gesture.
Fuck that in Twitter, man.
Chris has got
what do you call a New Zealand person? Is it
Kiwi. Kiwi's OG.
that's good.
The Kiwi OG.
Right,
no,
right.
The Kiwi OGs.
Oh, right, okay, the Kiwi OGs.
OG hat trick, the Kiwi OG hat trick.
It doesn't roll off at all.
That's an upgrade, man.
Stephen, what have you got?
Wait a minute, I've got one. 3 wee Kiwi OGs.
Stephen.
McGee's back.
And finally, Romano breaks Robinson from the list.
Can I not go with Dreamland in Deutschland? No.
No, you can't have Dreamland in Deutschland. Right, so that's your nominations for this week. Get voting right now at Football Daft Pod, and we'll find out who wins next week. Remember, get more content now from Football Daft on our Patreon channel. Just in case you don't know what Patreon is, content service where you're going to get more stuff from the show. Get the video version of this so you can see the boys drink their juice in anger. You get video versions of Rangers and Celtic Daft up there as well. We get the outtakes from this show. Couple of unbroadcastable ones this week that we can't even put in the outtakes. What else we get in there? Free t-shirt, get cameos from the boys as well if you want that. Loads of stuff up there. If you want to get involved, really easy to do that. Patreon.com/footballdaft. Throw a couple of bob this way if you enjoy the podcast. It'd be great to have you on board there. And talking, we have teammates up there, all our previous guests. We've been talking about it. We've been very lazy with getting guests on. That's about to change. We're going to get some more guests on. But we do teammates with our guests that have been on before. We ask them questions like, who's the best you've played with? Who's the worst you've played with? Who's the top shagger? And you can see them all on the Patreon channel. But right now we'll give you one that you can hear. It's Rangers midfielder Kyle Hutton.
Worst dressed.
Worst dressed, I'll go for Stuart Carswell.
Moaniest.
Stephen Naismith.
That's a good answer. Maybe said him before, but he does stay.
No.
I can imagine him being money.
Surprising, by the
way. Who would you want to back?
You can see it you can't see it when he plays, but it doesn't surprise me now you said it, but didn't it? No?
Oh, it doesn't surprise me, but it surprised me. He said it before because he does look pure money, doesn't he?
Like in training, games a lot, just constant moaning. You're like, I mean, I'm on a bit, but he took it to that. I think I took tips off him after I left it. Oh, he was mad. He was wild, man. Honestly, constant.
Who do you want to back you up in a fight?
I'd go for Big Magic Bigera. He was just mad.
Aye.
Big Biggie, I'll go for Big Biggie. Or the obvious one would be Moshney.
Aye, that's what I was going to say there. That crackpot, man.
It was a toss-up. You know what I mean? But,
I want to talk about him when we get to the pod, when we get to the interview.
Stevie, take a wee note of that.
I take a wee note, mate.
Cool, get your notebook out and take a wee note of that. Remind me about that, man. But that's a great answer. A mixture of Bigera and Moshney. Bigera, man.
There's a tag team in it.
Aye.
Oh, I've got that here. Tag team, by the way. Honestly, man.
Best looking?
I've been giving him a bit of stick for his hair, for the shade of laugh, but so I'll give him Cal Naismith, right? We'll go for that, just to give him a bit of confidence in that. He's shaved all his hair off and he's not liking it now.
Hey, near my look, man.
Aye.
Teacher's pet?
Do you know what? I played with a boy, Ian Russell. Do you know him now?
Ian Russell.
Ian Russell.
We'll go for somebody else even more then. Sorry.
Ian Russell's got it, man.
I feel shite for Ian Russell now, man.
I know Ian Russell's like, man.
He at Dundee. He was at Dundee, Ian Russell.
Oh, wait, you mean Ian Russell, the guy that was on loan for Pollock and he came through the youth teams at Annan, the Rangers? Oh, that Ian Russell? Oh,
yeah. Going to feel pure shite next week, man. When our guest pulls out, I'm going to text Kyle going to see if Ian wants to come on the podcast.
You know what, actually? I'll go for Ross Forbes at Dumbarton with Jim Duffy. Oh.
Aye.
Ross Forbes. Aye.
Most skillful?
Most skillful would be Vladimir Weist.
Oh, man.
Aye, in training, man, it would just be like, who's going to kick him first?
Aye, I like
couldn't
it.
get that in training. Aye, 4v4s and that, just... Aye, nice, man.
They were showing replays of the Scottish Cup for, when was it again, when Yellowit scored an extra time, and he come on just, I think, maybe the 89th minute.
That was the League Cup,
the League Cup, that's right.
He's passed to Yellowich.
Aye.
Aye, spun in.
He was
mate, get it right, man. Don't embarrass us.
What are you talking
about? Scottish Cup, no, that, mate. Fuck's sake, that's hard neck, man.
Mate, you didn't know who Russell is, you fucking...
You don't know your Ian Russells for your Scottish Cups, you cunt.
Grado's still raging a bit.
Jesus, man.
Grado's still raging about Slavia Prague putting you at the first cup.
We'll just give this one. We say it's for the punters, but this one's for Dean for next week, right? Unless you can get in and beat him, right? It's quite easy this week. I think we'll get this quite quickly. Mr. Williams measures TV ratings. Mr. Williams measures TV ratings.
Worst trainer?
Since you don't mean Paul, go. He'll not be happy, but I'm just going to go. Paul Payton.
Paul Payton.
Who never gets the round in?
Stuart Carswell, the other boy, Dom Thomas.
Aye.
Dom Thomas, all day.
Aye. Oh. They always taking the kitty money and all that, then get up the road.
They all slap me in the pockets and going, I've only got the card, I've done go to the cash line and that. Aye, I'm all day.
Biggest bam up merchant?
It feels as if I just keep saying his name, but Stuart Carswell.
Aye. Stuart Carswell in this, man.
Stuart Carswell and Cal Naismith, but I'm not only one, mate. I'll go Stuart Carswell because the stuff he does is just... Aye, definitely him. There's at least 14, 15 people looking to get him back for different kinds of things, so...
Right, Toal, take a note of this for the main interview.
Right, okay, thanks, Stephen.
Right, no worries,
Top shagger?
Top shagger? Back in the heyday? I have to take him, Cal Naismith.
Aye.
When he had his hair. Shaved it off. We went down south, lost the pot, shaved it off and that, so
aye.
No, back in the day, Cal Naismith.
Best you've played with?
Davo.
That's that great answer, brilliant.
Who do you missed that bit?
Stephen Davis.
Oh, right, aye.
Aye, that's an easy one.
You maybe don't know him for his nickname Devo, Grado, but me and Stephen knew him.
So that's it for this week's Football Daft. Thank you very much for listening. Looking ahead.
It's finished.
We're done. We're done.
He's only 29.
Classic. We aren't in the Emmy joke here for anyone listening.
There you go. Weekend fixtures, boys, go as follows. Saturday games: Aberdeen, Dundee United, the new firm as it used to get called. Jim Godwin in charge of Aberdeen.
Against his former club, I believe.
Against, yes. Aberdeen, Dundee United, what way do you see that going? Bounce from Jim Goodwin, win for Aberdeen?
Is it at Pittodrie?
It's at Pittodrie.
I would go with Aberdeen win there, aye.
Aberdeen win. Dundee versus Livingston. That is.
We not getting any.
Sorry, Chris. Sorry.
Draw.
Grado.
What's the question?
Dundee United at Aberdeen.
I'll go for Dundee United.
Dundee United away one.
So we've got an Aberdeen at a draw and a Dundee United. One of us have got to be right.
That's it. Dundee fighting for the lives down there at the bottom. They take on Livingston at Dens.
I'm going with a Livy victory there.
Livy victory.
It's Livy for me.
I'm going for Dundee.
I think I'll go for Dundee in that. I think they've got to fight for every point, and that's where it's got to start.
Their game of night's been cancelled, I know, because it's a fucking waterlogged pitch.
Is it? Oh, wow. So that's Mark McGee's first home game, so we'll see how that goes. Ross County, St Johnstone. St Johnstone returning a bit to form. Can they do it up at County?
No.
Draw
as well. I'm going draw.
I'm going County.
And there you go. Stephen Robinson's first game of charge. St Mirren versus Hearts in Paisley. Hearts are on poor form at the moment.
I'm going to go with the buddies.
I'm going to go for a draw again.
I'm going to say draw as well.
Right, let's get into the Sunday games then after the European fixtures. We're recording this podcast on Wednesday, so we'll talk about more on Rangers and Celtic daft. But looking ahead to Sunday, boys, Hibs versus Celtic's a 12 o'clock kick-off. What are you thinking with that?
I'm going to say a draw.
Wow, we're going for a draw.
Yep.
Hibs
I can't see Hibs do. I think Celtic will win.
Celtic struggle when we go to Easter Road, regardless of how Hibs have been playing. It's that and Livingston is my two most hated away grounds.
That's our next two away games, I know, is it no? Hibs Livy.
Yeah. We've got Hibs, and we've got St Johnstone at home, I think, and then we've got Livy away.
I mean, is it better to be the early or the late kick-off in that situation?
I think in this run-in now, you want to play first every time.
All the time, aye.
Yeah. So
because look at us, John. I mean, if we win against Hibs, and we're 6 points ahead of Rangers, and that puts a wee bit extra pressure on Rangers.
Aye, that's what I was saying at the weekend. If we win at Tannadice at the weekend there, when that game's 2-each at Parkhead, man, it's fucking it's squeaky bum time.
Yeah,
and that's what it's going to be like week in, week out. Like I said last week, until somebody opens up a wee bit of a gap, it's going to be like us right to the end of the season.
Well, it's going to be real interesting as well. If Celtic do go out of Europe on Thursday and Rangers progress, you know what I mean? That's obviously there's going to be more pressures than Rangers on the Sunday.
See, there's a lot of things. The things you'll play Sunday, obviously, but it's like a lot of people going on about this. Like they would want Celtic to win, to still be in Europe, but it's not like the fixture list will become massive. The only difference is play Sunday. It's only the one game. Really, do you know
what it is? But Stevie, it's the travel as well. You know what I mean? And like for example, if you draw a team that's like an Eastern European side or something like that, and you've got a heavy travel schedule, do you know that?
Don't get me wrong. See if you go out and we go through and you open a wee gap, I'm using this excuse all fucking day.
But yeah, I'd rather sit fucking 4 or 5 hours on a plane than fucking 3 hours on a bus to Ross County.
Exactly.
But you've got to be in the airport 2 hours early.
So, and finally, we've got Rangers at home to Motherwell.
Rangers.
Easy win, Grado.
I don't really worry about this. Is Ibrox. I just worry away from them.
The home form's pretty good. I'm going to go with a Rangers win.
Right, no bother on that one. Right, okay, well that's it for Football Daft for this week. Thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe, rate, review on Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. Really appreciate those ratings. Get us up.
Before we go though, having a wee fight next Thursday, John?
Oh yeah, we should plug that actually. I am fighting, believe it or not, it's not a sentence I thought I'd ever say. I am wrestling the Lord Provost of Glasgow at the ICW Asylum next Thursday evening. Tickets are still available. Clyde1.com/wrestling. Chris Toal, evil Chris Toal, is in the other side of the ring from me.
I'm not evil. I'm a face, mate.
You're not even joining my team.
Oh, hey, me and Rab gave John pelters last week for disclosing if he was a heel or a babyface. Toal, You don't tell people that.
All right, sorry about that.
You're breaking
Cut that bit out, Ryan.
But yeah, I am wrestling the Lord Provost of Glasgow. The ticket's still available. All the money goes to Cash for Kids. You can sponsor me as well, Clyde1.com/wrestling.
And also head over to paviliontheatre.co.uk. Seeing as this cunt's stunning in my grass, let's plug Grado's Big Family Wrestling Bash, 7th of May, confirmed, Chris Toal.
Is the money going for to charity, the old Grado, I'm assuming, because you're plugging it there, aye?
Just cut that out, Ryan.
Brilliant. Well, so that is it for Football Daft. Maybe see you at the wrestling. We'll be back next week with more Strangers and Celtic Daft available from Tuesday next week as well. And we will see you on the next one.